Hi, and welcome back to Joel's DIY, back again with another video. Today we're going to go ahead and review a new turntable that I just recently purchased on the used market, actually. And that is the Technics SL-23 servo generated turntable. So I picked this turntable up because it was for a very good price. I was actually surprised that a Technics would be around maybe 30 to 40 bucks. You usually don't find that. It's usually talking upwards of 80 to $200. It's from the 70s. I'll get more into specifics when I go over the specs. But it works great. I was able to test it out with a few records. It just needed a new belt. And the dials that it had needed a little bit of cleaning, which I took care of. But it works reasonably fine. It sounds great. And today I would like to demo it with you guys so you can listen to it. It does. I did put an Ortofon cartridge. I don't know if the camera can catch that, but that is the cartridge that we're gonna go ahead and test. It's got a very nice tone arm, counterweight, tracking force adjustment, all that thing, which I'll go over, in a minute. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get started. So here's the turntable. Very nice design. Kind of a classic 70s. And this is a frequency generated servo. And it's got a plinth that's made out of what is called simulated metal case, but it's not. It's actually just particle board that's been crushed together to make a plinth for the turntable. And the label here says Technics by Panasonic, which is kind of interesting because I know that they were related, but I didn't know that Panasonic made Technics. Usually the other way around, from what I know. Here's a good look at the platter mat. And here's the platter. And this is a belt drive turntable. And as you can see, the belt just came off. But you can see right here, that's the belt. You can see right here that it's got its motor. It's belt drive motor. It's a very, very sturdy aluminum platter. Let me go ahead and just put the belt back. Just a quick adjustment here. Okay, and there goes the mat. So, I mean, you got your typical functions here. You got a very nice tone arm with a counterweight. You got an adjustment for the anti-skating. And you got your typical lever to pull it up and down, or cue it up and down. You got a speed adjustment right there for your motor, 45 and 33 1/3. And this dial here switches between 45 and 33, and it also has an off switch, which is kind of interesting. You don't usually see those in more modern turntables. And I got a head shell with an Ortofon. I think it's like a M7. TM7, sorry, TM7. And I added this cartridge so that we could use it for the demo. It's got its typical strobe light. It's called a strobe scope on there. And you can check it for 50 hertz or 60 hertz as other turntables. And I mean, the particle board is kind of a good thing because it does absorb a lot of the shock. So your frequencies on your records will come out a bit clearer. So that's kind of nice. So before we move on, I'd like to go over the specs. I've been using this website, Vinyl Engine, for a couple of years now, and it's a great website if you want to find old manuals or just the specs of older model turntables or stereo systems, or even cassette decks. So here's the SL-23, and just a brief description of that. So here are some of the specs. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, it's the frequency generator servo turntable, belt drive DC motor, aluminum die cast 300 millimeter plate, 33 and 45, pitch control 6%, and the wow and flounder is 0.05. Rumble is negative 65 decibels. Universal S-shaped tubular arm, 220 millimeter effective length, 14 millimeter overhang, offset angle 23 degrees, stylus pressure range 0 to 4 grams. So yeah, this tracking force can be adjusted all the way up to 4 grams if you'd like. Not that you would. Cartridge weight between 3 to 8.5 grams. So I would say that this is probably the stock cartridge that came with the turntable, because I don't think my particular cartridge can handle that much tracking force. The dimensions 135 by 428 by 348 millimeters, and it weighs about 6.5 kilograms. I'm not sure how much that is in pounds, but I'm sure you can look that up on Google. You know, the good thing about this is that if you log in and make an account on this website, you're able to download your manual and even your service manual if you like to. If you need to repair this type of turntable. So let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the turntable. There is the back, and we can see that label there for Technics by Panasonic, made in Japan, SL-23, frequency generated servo turntable. The wires are hardwired into the turntable, so you got your typical audio and ground wire there, very retro looking, and you got that old prong type of plug that doesn't have that extra plastic around it so that you don't get shocked. We're going to go ahead and test the turntable out with my typical Cocktail Piano Time vinyl set from Reader's Digest. And we're going to go ahead and try to use a different record this time. We're going to use record 1, which got I Remember You on the side 2. So we'll check that out. And I'm just going to go do a quick demo on how the turntable functions. So let's put a record in. And you do have to set it to 33 since it's in the off function right now. Pull it up or cue it up. Okay. And the dampening is pretty good on this turntable in spite of its age. Very gentle. And this is a semi-automatic, so it will do the auto return, as you can see right there, which is kind of nice. A lot of modern turntables of this same design don't do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and test the sound, and we'll see how this turntable sounds with a direct feed. So here are my final thoughts. After demoing this turntable and testing it out for a couple of plays, I come to the determination this is a great buy, especially if you want a Technics turntable and don't want to spend a whole lot of money. I've been seeing these pop up on the internet, for around 30 to 80 bucks, which is an amazing deal. And if you can pick one up, I would definitely recommend it, especially if you don't want to spend too much money on that. It's got a head shell, which is great. And I also noticed that the noise level was really, really, really low. And I have to say it's probably the plinth that, since it's made out of particle board, it absorbs a lot of the vibrations and things like that. So this is a great little turntable that's not too expensive. It would be a great starter turntable if that's kind of like your thing. But I would highly recommend this. The downside of this is that it's not a fully automatic turntable. I mean, you do have to do your own cueing to start the record off. But on the flip side of that, it's an auto return. So it's not like you have to sit right by your turntable and wait for the record side to finish so that you can cue it back up. So that's actually a great little option that it has. But these are popping up, and some of these might require a little bit of work. Such as restoring the dust cover and things like that. But that's, as I've shown in other videos, that's not too difficult to do. So I definitely wouldn't take too much away from that. Nonetheless, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informational. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.